Cornstar Farms has been known for being an absolute junkyard for my entire life. That's what we're kind of known for in our neighborhood, is having a super messy farm. It drives me up the wall. Last spring, my grandfather had brain cancer and he knew he didn't have much time, and so he passed the farm over to us and he told us, you know what guys, the farm is a reflection of you guys now, so I want it to reflect you. So that gave me permission to start cleaning things up. I wanted to be able to show my future kids down the road what the farm looked like back when I was young. So I started kind of documenting things, and well, I wasn't gonna come out with this video because, well, it's not very good production quality. I was looking through all of my old clips and I was like, you know what? I can't just show them in the middle of cleaning everything up because you won't appreciate how far it's came. Everyone always asks me 3 questions. The first one being, Cole, why don't you do this on the farm? Why don't you do that on the farm? Each operation is a little bit different from one another, but generally we have our main things we need to do and then our extra things we need to do. So I'm just going to tell you everything we need to do on ours. We'll start with coming in the driveway. This needs to be seeded in alfalfa. These trees need trimmed. This fence needs pulled out. This trailer house needs to be cleaned up. All of this junk, yes, there's more. And more. 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 And more. The house needs resided. Hey look, more junk. Porch needs redone. Needs resided. More junk. Any guesses? This needs picked up. Gone. 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 Welcome to the auger graveyard, where augers come to die. Bye. 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 Picked up. Reorganized. This band needs to be tore down. This needs picked up. Here's the plan today. All this junk behind me and what I'm standing on. And over here, this all cleaned up. It's gonna take a little while, but we'll get to it. Make a life for myself. Make a life for myself. Make a life for myself.
make a life for myself. We'll turn this around.
The combine we got behind us was actually the first combine we ever bought here on Cornstar Farm.
You about got me.
Once you see smoke, you know you're getting heat. All right. Woohoo! Kind of brings back memories. Tree, meat, excavator window.
This is actually the very first tractor that my grandfather bought. This could very well have been a horseshoe off one of my great-grandfather's horses. It's kind of cool to think about. Urban Rabbit. Cole, why don't you do this on the farm? Why don't we do that on the farm? Isn't it just incredible what a little bit every day over an extended period of time will do? We'll start with coming in the driveway. This fence needs pulled out.
I never really liked that fence.
This trailer house needs to be cleaned up.
I feel like I worked on that trailer house for 2 weeks straight.
All of this junk. Yes, there's more. And more. 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 And more.
Junk! Where did you go? Junk? Junk? Junk?
The house needs resided. Porch needs redone.
We fixed the porch, we sided the house.
Needs resided.
This new invisible siding on the garage is incredible.
Any guesses? This needs picked up. Gone, 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 gone. Bye. Bye. Bye.
I talked about making this into a driveway for at least 10 years. So now, just to see it with all the junk out of here, everything cleaned, having it be exactly what I envisioned it to be, it's just an incredible feeling.
Picked up.
The absolute hardest spot to clean up on the entire farm was right here. There wasn't much here, but we're constantly going in and out of this building, and we're constantly driving right through here. You pull a truck up, you have something extra in your bed, it gets thrown right there. So that was actually one of the last things I cleaned up.
Reorganized. This van needs to be tore down.
The bins are no longer here. This one was destroyed prior to the 2020 derecho, but the big one in the back, the wind took it right across the big machine shed roof. But it's clean back here now. 3 years ago, when I planned on making this video, I said that I wanted to make it for my future family. So that way they could see what the farm used to look like, and then all the changes that happened, so then they could appreciate the growth that the farm has had. And I wanted to share that with the world because I thought it would be a very interesting story. Now that we have gone through this 1,000 hours of cleanup, literally 1,000 hours sitting inside of a skid loader, picking stuff up. I went through 2,000 gallons of diesel fuel inside of a skid loader, $50,000 in bulldozer fees and excavating fees to get everything down. And then we at least got another 50 in this porch and in the siding of the house. But okay, we can sit and brag about all these numbers. Yeah, they don't mean anything. It's just, that's the time it took and the dollars it took to do this thing. But I could care less about those things. I wanted to show, now that we have gotten done with everything, I just want to emphasize the power of not giving up on something and the power of consistency. We watch all these movies where someone starts in the beginning, they're kind of a loser, not really doing much with their life. Maybe they're getting pushed around by people, they're getting beat up, and then all of a sudden one day they just get fed up with it. And then they find like this hole-in-the-wall trainer, and then, you watch this Rocky training scene where, they're going hard for 2 minutes, they're doing sit-ups with 50 pounds of potatoes on their chests, they're running miles, doing all these things. And then you just watch the progression in these 2 minutes. They go from bad to all of a sudden, like, hey, their coach is a little bit impressed with them. And then they just keep getting better and better and better. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're in the world championship event or something. And so then that's how we all kind of envision success. We watch all these movies where that is exactly how it happens. And then so in our own lives, we feel, man, I tried doing something for like 15 minutes and I'm terrible at it. And I'm just not cut out for that. Or I don't have the talent for that. And then we give up on it. I hope this video really shows, and just all the videos that I put out I am as normal as anybody. So if I can do this, literally anybody can do this. I just did not quit. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. Didn't matter how little the task that day, just, hey, I'm going to go pick up a 5-gallon bucket of nails that I found on the ground. I'm going to go pick up the glass in this area. I'm going to go push around, make this into a pile so I can separate it later. I just kept doing something to be moving forward. And I had the discipline to, okay, I don't feel like doing that today, but guess what? We did it anyway. Now, some days you have more motivation to do more than others, but we just kept taking those little baby steps towards the end goal. Now here we are. Now this is just the start of it. Getting all this junk up. I mean, we got farms we got to fix. We got fertility we got to fix in those farms. We got buildings on buildings that need to be cleaned out better, need to be organized better. My goal is to get our farm in an extremely efficient, state-of-the-art form. And when we have all this clutter around, we can't do that. It's just like our lives. If we have so much clutter in our lives, like our brain's always going in 1,000 different directions, where if we just take care of the clutter, in my opinion, it just makes things so much easier. But I'm going to look back on this video in another 6 years, and I'm going to be like, wow, Cole, you don't know anything about anything. I'm probably going to have a whole different paradigm shift when it comes to this. I just encourage everybody, if you have a vision in your head on something you want to do, don't listen to other people's opinions on that. If you feel that strongly about that thing, do it. But you have to take the actions to do it. By just thinking about it, that doesn't get anything done. As much as we would like to think it does, the actual physical things that we do are what move us toward those ideas and those wants. And I would honestly challenge you, I don't think it's really a want you have if you're not willing to do the actions to get there. Because oftentimes we know what we need to do. We know exactly what we need to do. We're just always trying to figure out a shortcut way around it, or like something that we can cut corners with. And frankly, that is not the answer. It's just consistency every single day of working towards it. And don't be deceived by the balance that people will try to tell you about, because that does not exist. The bigger the goals you have, the bigger the sacrifices you are going to have to make. Take this project, for example. I knew it was going to be expensive, so I need to figure out how to make as much money as I could and how to save as much money as I could in order to do the things that I wanted to do. So when it came to saving money, I literally started when I was 17 years old, writing out a budget and sticking to it. I would go out to eat with friends. I would not order any food. All my friends at the time ate like birds, So what they didn't eat, I would just finish up for them. Then I didn't have to pay for a meal. When I went to college, I refused to have a parking pass. I didn't want to pay $500 for a parking pass and still have to walk half a mile into my class. So I bought a skateboard and I rode that to class every single day when I lived a mile off campus. I spent $200 per semester on food. I literally buy a 20-pound bag of rice, and I'd buy black beans, and I'd buy a carton of eggs for $1. Make my eggs, throw all that together. Sometimes I'd put in chicken, sometimes I'd put in hamburger. That is literally what I ate for 3 years straight. $400 per school year on food. I wore the same clothes I've had since I was like 17. Even what you see me wear now, I've literally had most of those clothes for over 5 years. My shoes, same thing. I went out in college to hang out with people 5 times in 3 years. I did a year of college and high school, so then I only had to do 3 actually on campus. But I went out 5 times because I was hunkered down in my room learning about business, figuring out ways that I could monetize the skills that I had, or how I could take opportunities that I was currently sitting on and turn them into better opportunities, so that way I could have the finances to do the things that I wanted to do, and tie that in with the super savings. I had to put away $1,500 a month for the last 6 years, every single month, never missed a month, to be able to afford this stuff. But I had to have the discipline. If I wanted something, gonna have to put that off for a little while, because I have a vision that I want to put this certain amount of money towards, so that way we can do these things. And then from those things, we can build an opportunity based off that, and we can employ that money into something else that makes more money, and then all of a sudden we get the snowball rolling. So it's all part of a vision. We're on a 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 year plan here. This is not a, hey, I want to be successful tomorrow. This is a, hey, I want to be successful in 20 years from now, and this is what I'm going to be doing every single day. I have 20,000 steps between me now and me in 20 years, and we're just going to take one every single day. We oftentimes look way on the horizon where we want to be, but it's all dark between where we want to be and where we are now. And that path doesn't make sense, and that gets really overwhelming. But if we just look straight down in front of our feet, and we can see 6 inches in front of us, take that step 6 inches forward. It's going to stink. It's not always going to be fun. It's going to be hard. Your brain's going to hurt. It requires a lot of effort. You're going to get a lot of people saying you can't. You're going to get a lot of people saying you're silly. Why are you wasting your time? You should be doing this because this is the safe route. This is the proven route. Yada, yada. We get one go here on earth. Do what fulfills you. Doing something for money, doing something because someone tells you that you should be doing that because that's the best option, that's the safest option, the yada yada. If you fail, who cares? You can literally stand right back up and keep going. As long as you're not dead, you can keep going. That's easier said than done sometimes. But attitude has so much to do with it, it's not even funny. And I like to put it this way. How many people do you know who are 70 years old to buy a sports car? Really nice sports car. Cool car. Awesome. You've done a great job saving up for it, getting it. Then they drive it one Sunday a year. Put 30 miles on it. Because they say, man, I don't want to drive that. It's too nice of a car. It's going to be worth more if I don't drive it. Well, gee golly, what are you waiting for when you're 90 and can't drive it at all anymore? Or wait until you die? Drive the car, run the wheels off it. Sure, that may be the wrong thing to do, but I'd rather jump into action, realize, oh man, that probably wasn't the right thing to do. But now I learned from it, and I can take that knowledge and bring it into other opportunities. or other areas of my life. And then that is how we learn. If we're just coddled all the time on these things, we're not going to learn anything. Like sometimes it's just, he's got to take the step. Learn on your way down. That's what birds do. You know, I don't know, all the birds I see are flying around, so must work out for them. So this is just the beginning. We are getting started around here. Everything is going to be transforming so much. I'm really looking forward to jumping into that. But this is what I've been doing the last 6 years. Thank you to everybody who's been tuning along for the last 4 of it. We appreciate it. We wouldn't be doing a lot of this stuff if it weren't for your guys' support, or we would not be doing it as quickly as we are. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. I wish my Grandpa Ray was here to see all this right now. I wish he was standing beside me so I could ask him what he thought of it. He'd probably be a little mad at me for throwing away his stuff, but I think he'd be smiling at the end of the day. If somebody gets a little bit of inspiration from this, I did my job. Thank you guys. We'll see you later.